As part of President Biden's vaccine mandates, companies with more than 100 employees could face big fines if they don't require vaccines or regularly test for COVID.
And companies are asking for clarity. To talk more about the mandate is CEO and founder of the LaSalle Network, Tom Gimbel. Thanks for joining us, Tom. I guess these companies sent a laundry list, a letter with a laundry list of questions to the president. Why are they so confused?
Well, number one, it was the association that represents a lot of consumer packaged goods association. And so what people want to know is, number one, what about remote workers? Do they have to be terminated, or is it only for people coming into the office? Does the government plan to centralize vaccination tracking? And then you have the issue of fraud. So they're talking about penalties of up to $14,000 for every violation. But what if there is fraud and somebody creates a fake vaccination card? What happens then? Are there going to be requirements that are formally issued, or is it all going to be on an informal basis? And then if the employees choose to not vaccinate, who's responsible for securing and paying the testing? Is that going to be done for free by the government? Is the company responsible? Does the employee have to do it? So while a lot of companies think it's a great idea and they want their employees to be safe, there is this overarching gray area of what's appropriate.
So I guess they were looking for a lot of clarity. I guess it remains to be seen whether they actually got that. The big question is, okay, when exactly is all this supposed to take effect? Did they get any of the questions answered?
They haven't gotten the questions answered yet, Ray. And what we're looking at is not only when, but why is the break at 100? And will it happen to people with the booster shot? So does it only apply to people for the for the Pfizer shot, right, that's FDA approved? What about Moderna and J&J? Does that count? And if people go and get a shot that isn't FDA approved, what happens then? So there's just a lot of ambiguity, and companies want to say, we're all behind this. However, you've got to help give us a punch list so we can make sure that we have clear communication with our employees.
So now what? What do you want from the president?
Well, I think the president has to delegate this. And what he did, and I applauded it, was set an overarching theme of saying we want to keep people safe. We want the vaccination to become commonplace amongst everybody and get it up into the 85–90% population. Now he needs to delegate this down to someone in the cabinet who's going to step forward and have a laundry list of what can happen. And it's also going to be harder for Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 companies than it is for any company with over 100 employees. So what's the timetable to go ahead and move and get this forward? And when you say $14,000 for every occurrence, how is that determined? Who's going to know if there's a violation, right? How do you know? And is there going to be somebody, is there going to be a whistleblower effect where people might gain from turning in employers that aren't doing it? And is that really the kind of situation in society we want to have in corporate America? So there is a lot of issues that still need to be tackled here.
Yeah, having said all of that, you got to think the administration has been focused on some of that and has to have a plan in place. Given that 37% of Americans are not vaccinated, having said what all you said there, do you think that this gives those companies the political cover that they would need to prevent any blowback from other Americans who think, you can't mandate me to get a vaccine?
I'll give you two responses to that, Ray. Number one, I think that requiring employees to be vaccinated, there's a lot of cover for CEOs. If the President of the United States says you got to have it, employers now can make that a staple and saying, we're not going to hire anybody who's not vaccinated, or everybody who comes in has to be vaccinated. So there is cover now. To say that the administration probably has this planned out didn't work so well for the administration with Afghanistan, so I'm not sure they know exactly how to roll this out.
That's an interesting comparison, yeah. Tom. Thank you so much. Be safe, be well.
Take care.
Let's check in with Tom Skilling. Hey, Tom.
Guys, well, it's a warm